What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-High Radio Shout. And as always, I got my podcast sisters off in this thing. I'm talking about Princess, Grandma, what happening? And Ray, what up, though?
What's good?
Hey, you know, we got a legendary songstress, writer, producer, one of my favorite singers of all time off in this thing, Marsha Ambrosius. What's going on with it?
Thank you. Yes.
How you feeling today, Marsha?
I'm great.
I mean, new album about to drop.
Oh my goodness, June 28th, Casa Blanco.
How you feeling about this thing?
It's the most excited I've ever been because I've held on to this album for a minute now, and I feel like now I can unleash it to the world.
Oh my God.
It feels like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, it's electrifying. And the fact that I can speak about it now, it's like, oh, I can't wait for you to hear this.
Okay then. I mean, that lead single, One Night Stand.
Ooh.
They're gonna moan it.
Like
I told you, it's gonna be a moaning day.
It's one of them nights,
you
know. And One Night Stand, it feels like one of them nights.
Okay.
Like the album is in that same vein where the song can start with like a 27-piece orchestra and then just transport you into that mood.
Yeah.
And then the beat drop and you just
feel sexy.
It's intimate,
Yeah.
you know. And I feel like when I work with anybody, that kind of happens naturally. And then getting to work with Dr. Dre, he let the musical studio be like a playground. Like I could just do whatever. It's like, look, if you could make something up, what would it be? No limitations, just do it. I was like, oh, bet, say that. And we went with it, recorded the album, and he was like, no, we need a 27-piece orchestra, let's go. So we went ahead and did that, put the arrangements on it. Eric Gorfain did that, and then okay, we need some horn pieces. I composed the horn sections. It was just, it was a lot. It was the most I've ever done on one album. And it took a year to clear it because we did so many. It's literally a time capsule of every piece of music that you ever loved in your life, every genre, and just said, we're just going to make one album out of everything. And we did. Some things on there, they shouldn't go together, and they do.
Ooh. Creative process, though. I mean, you said this took a long time to make. So, I mean, what was your mind at creating this album?
It was post, when I say post-pandemic.
Yep.
COVID was happening because it was 2021 when we were creating it.
Yeah.
So 2020 happens and the world changes. So I didn't get with Dre until the top of 2021.
Okay.
So we start recording what we think is an album April of 2021. We were done by June.
Okay.
Like the entire process. Like everything was written, everything was recorded. Any additionals we did were the strings. So when we started, it was like, we don't know what's going to happen on planet Earth. I don't know where this is going, but if it was to end tomorrow, what we doing?
Come on.
So it was like, make the album that if you were gonna die tomorrow.
Exactly. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
post-pandemic.
what would you do?
Exactly.
And it felt like that. So it feels, even during an apocalypse, I was like, how am I still making songs to make love to? Still. I was like, if it was going to end, let's get it one more time, baby, one night. Why not get it on that night? And I was like, even in my darkest moments, I'd still make that music.
Exactly.
That makes the music. And that's what this album is.
What are you doing in Atlanta, though, Marsha?
What am I not doing in Atlanta? If I'm not eating like good food and just chilling with the homies. Like I used to live here.
Okay.
You know, so Atlanta was my first stop from like back in the day, early 2000s. So this is Apache Cafe, like way back. Exactly. You know what I mean? I was kicking musicians off their instruments and playing at 2 a.m. at Apache Cafe. I was for serious. Fast forward to like 06, 07, and I'm here, so it's Tabernacle, it's center stage, and like I've been coming to Atlanta. It's thumbs up, sweet thing. Like, you know, this is when JD had, remember his spot, JD's spot, the after hours, and we used to have he had a drink This is when I was drinking. Brown liquor. I just knew it was a brown liquor infused Hennessy something.
Oh, probably
And-
Incredible Hope. Incredible Hope, probably.
He knows the name of it. I just said, get me one
Cafe
of them
Dupree.
JDs. We just ordered the JDs, the beef bites. So Atlanta, it's sentimental to me.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
So when I hear my album, even listening to Casa Blanco, I'm like, there's a touch of ATO in there.
Damn right.
And that had to be unintentionally because I came into womanhood when I got to America. I was 21, 22 when we were deciding to come over here. So 22, 23 years old, I'm green. I know nothing, know no one, but I'm learning. So I become a woman when I'm here. I'm learning new things as I'm here. So
Come on now.
all of these stories that are in these very intimate songs. It's before I met you, babe. We
Like
all lived our
McDonald's, babe.
lives,
Yes,
you know?
it had to. But you know what? And I love that because, you know, your songs Say Yes, Far Away, all these songs have transcended generations, you know. Listen to you speak about this album now. Like, did you feel this way when you were making those songs? Because we know you said you had a little bit of a time when you was making Say Yes. You had an orgasm moment.
I did. And that's 24 years ago. That's how grown I am.
Yeah.
I recorded Say Yes 24 years ago.
Let's go.
This year. 24,
Where did that
summer of
time
2000.
go?
Yeah.
Right.
It just flew by.
Exactly.
And it was released, 2 years after that? So the song is 22 years old publicly.
Yes.
But yeah, it was one of
And
those
still
intimate
trending.
moments.
Come
You know,
on
and
now.
still trending. So the fact that I can not only talk about what I did 24 years ago, I can be here now and be just as excited about what I'm
Come
doing
on.
right now. It's
Come on.
new experiences, new life, new love, and Casablanco.
Come on now.
Casablanco. So one of your first songs, or maybe your first song, was about the boy in McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
Your crush.
And we still don't know who that is.
You still haven't found
I
him?
think I only mention him still just to see if, he's going to remember that, I worked at McDonald's. Like, where you at? man?
Where
Like,
are
just
you?
look
We trying
at
to
it, like,
thank you.
But yeah, it was a crush. Butterflies. Very easy, very innocent, very pure. 16 years old, and you feel some feelings. And then,
What was that transition like coming from Europe to the States, though?
food.
And then also, I understand that you was coming for Georgia Tech at first to play ball.
Tore ligaments.
Yeah.
Broke. That was my heartbreak.
Yeah.
Was tearing ligaments and my hoop dreams just saying, "Arr." No. So record scratch, and I
Yeah.
just used to write in a diary and write my feelings, and that became my plan B. So music is really my plan B. It just kind of worked out.
Was it a culture shock when you touched down, though?
Not really. I do have like the American side of my family.
Oh,
Both
okay.
of my parents have African American fathers.
Yeah.
So it was, this is easily translatable. And I
Yeah.
feel like all of my aunts were sending me VHS tapes when I was a kid of Different World, Cosby Show, Martin,
Yeah.
like Living Single. And so I felt like I was involved. Even though we
right.
didn't have the high school experience, like, the prom. And I'm like, I want to be American. Like, I did. I was like, Mom, why can't we just let's go to America.
Come on.
Did you have those moments though? I know I hear a lot of people say that they came over and they thought something was one thing and it was another. Like one of the guys, he tried to do one of the dances and he was in a club, the wrong club, trying to do the dance.
See, for me, I don't know. Like, my black experience in the UK, I don't know, they're both the same. I didn't feel I felt at home. I felt like, cousins.
Yeah, okay.
So I felt that's why it was easily translatable for me. I think it was just, you have wide streets everywhere. Like in the UK, we're like narrow. You hear side street, it's not spin the block.
Yeah.
You spin the block in the UK, you were in Birmingham or like London.
Miss the exit.
Right, so think about missing the exit on a smaller street. You don't know where you at. So I think that was adjusting, the other side of the car, things like that. Food portions, size.
yeah.
Because we
So I
get
was-
full over here.
Oh man!
You're gonna get full.
So being an ex-athlete, I
Yeah.
still bowl. Well,
Yeah.
I still shoot.
Okay.
I act like I
Don't
have
get
some
twisted.
sense. Still shoot. I don't bowl. I shoot, but it's I went from not playing at all to being in the studio, late nights, early mornings, and then I'm just eating. Just eating. Ain't no working out, just eating.
Yeah.
So here's me, 50 pounds heavier, 75 pounds heavier, 100 pounds heavier.
Oh.
And I didn't care because I was happy.
Yeah, that's called happy weight.
Happy weight.
Happy weight,
Exactly.
Philly cheesesteak weight, pizza weight, just weight.
But let me ask you, when did it hit you? Because it just hit me a couple days ago. And I said, oh, hold on now. This
I'm
weight ain't that.
detoxing now.
When you realize you're out of breath doing your basic tasks.
Okay.
I was like, come
Yeah.
on, staircase.
Yeah.
And you don't realize, and you sitting down, you're like, I can hear myself breathing.
Yeah.
Like, when you sit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
not, no, and I don't play that. So I've been on a health kick for a while now, maybe since 03. So the weight has fluctuated, but by the time it came off, like it was like, Floetry days were one thing,
Yeah.
and then it gets to late nights and early mornings. It's two different people. To the point where I have to explain to people, no, I'm the same person.
Yeah.
No one associates Far Away or Hope She Cheats with Say Yes. They're like, no, that's Floetry. And I'm
Yeah.
like, they're like, oh my God, that's you too.
Come on now.
But it's
Yeah.
like 100 pounds heavier, Marsh. And she was lovely. I love
Yeah.
her. Poncho wearing Marsh. She was a dream. Like,
Yes.
I love her. I can reflect and go, wow, did some healing, did some time. And then, I had a whole baby. And that was
Yeah.
a journey by itself. So
My
it's
God.
all the health things. But through it all, I can still see the music I was still creating
Yeah.
at that weight. That
Michael
comfortable.
Jackson, Butterflies, though. I mean, that was one of Michael's last greatest hits that, I feel like that was the Michael that we all wanted him to
Yeah.
ride out with.
Yeah.
What was it like putting that song together with him?
A dream.
Your
Still.
vocals on there was a dream. Like,
Still, us together, like, we spent 2 weeks in the studio and I vocally produced him, and it was amazing.
Meeting him, when you first met him, how was Michael? Was he everything that you thought he would be, or was
And
he something
more.
totally different? Ooh.
No, I didn't know what he was going to be. I just
Yeah.
knew that I was going to be myself and tell him that when, Thriller Mike, Black Werewolf Mike, that was my Michael. Like,
Exactly.
listen here, Mike, you can get it.
Okay.
because you are very vocal with everything. And I know
Yes.
that.
All you got to do is say yes. Like,
Yes.
Now, is that what you said to your man when you walked up to him? Because I know you said you approached him. You said, I'm going to shoot my shot.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, and maybe not all of those words, but it was very much.
Just the way.
Yes, that's why.
It's good. Like, I feel like if you're interested, be interested.
yeah.
Like, ain't no
Really?
way. Like, I have no time to figure out the games. Like, oh, well, if it's gonna be a game, it's gonna be a game. But if I don't initiate what I want, then I'm forced to play their game. You know what I mean? So let me just play mine.
See
You
that?
played it right because y'all been together ever since.
Yeah, it's
okay.
almost 10 years now.
Well, then how does that impact the career at the same time, being married and having to maneuver around, and then with content and stuff like that? Because I know her thinking, one night stand, hold up,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
where this song come
He
from?
knows my heart. He knows where I
Okay.
come home to.
Yeah.
And he knows why I make music and who I need to reach and what that means.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're that comfortable with each other to
Yes.
have that lets this journey be so much easier. Like, I can
Okay.
just go ahead and do what I need to do.
Well, now I love that because I go through this. I'm married as hell too, so I'm in here with 3 beautiful women. I know my wife at home like, what the hell's going on with that? What are you
Right.
doing? So it's like,
So
Yeah.
picture being on stage during these shows and I'm singing these songs to people.
yeah,
That's my gift.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't think married first.
Yeah.
The married part is a part of the package.
That's right.
The fantasy is that song is for anyone. Can't just sing to my husband all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't want to hear Ho Chi Chi.
Tattoo that on me.
Skip. Yeah. But that's what the act is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's an act. It's I'm on that stage and I'm, professing my love for other people to fantasize about what that is. I think that's why I write so well for men.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is what I want you to say to me. Michael, say what?
Right.
All you gotta do is just walk away and pass it.
Yeah.
What? I caress you, let you taste us. What? Come on, Michael. The fantasy.
Yeah.
So when I perform it, I'm singing it how you want to be sung to and who you want to sing it to.
And I think you sell the fantasy very well because a lot of girls today, and this is not to speak down on anyone, they're artists in their own right. But you sell fantasy, you sell the intimacy, you sell, it's not sex, it's sex.
Sensuality.
Sensuality.
Intimacy.
And being comfortable
It's
with it.
intimate, it's being comfortable. And you're right, some people flaunt that in other ways. Like, I'm pretty sure if my butt was way bigger, I may be twerking during singing the songs. Like
on set, yes?
God said no. If you can't have it, you can't do it all.
Can't
Like,
have it both ways.
no.
Because you play
So,
instruments
I don't know. I'm saying that because I do dope. Hey, I didn't say I couldn't move into it.
Exactly.
But I am saying there is a level. There's levels to it.
Yeah.
There's either showing the entire package and now I don't have to think about what it's going to be because I already saw it.
Yeah.
Or I do something to your mind that makes you
Right.
think, ooh, I don't even care what actually happened.
Right.
What I thought was going to happen is exactly.
It's even better.
Exactly.
And there's two artists that I put in that category. That's you and Jill Scott. Like,
Yeah,
who
that
is
lady
a
can
dream
go.
collab? Because for me, it just came to me just now. That's a dream collab for me.
Me and Jill.
Yes.
Oh, we would talk to
Y'all would go that would go crazy.
Y'all have to go
I don't
like
want
a
the
back
type
and
of
forth.
hypnotherapy
Exactly.
that would be. Yeah,
Come
people
on
like
now.
that. Yeah. Oh, put it out there. Oh,
Yes.
maybe we'll tour.
Yes. Come on,
Exactly.
Jill. Jilly from Philly.
So you
Yeah.
said before when you are making a song, each instrument, you're making love to each instrument, and it's like a collab, and it's almost like having sex with each instrument, right?
Orgy.
It's yeah, I wanted you to say it because I.
No, you know.
So with the moaning and stuff that you do, do you feel like it's ever too much? Like you get into a zone and then you open your eyes and it's like, ooh, it was 30 people in here.
But that's what happens during many songs, you know, because I'm in my feelings. Sometimes when I'm on stage, I have to literally apologize and be like, my bad, that was all for me. I don't know who was here watching it or who feeling for you, but I felt that one. I don't know where you was at,
Yeah.
but you're taking that ride with me. So yeah, in the studio, it's very much, you have to kind of pick and choose your moments. So you never want to overstep. Some people might be uncomfortable, but that makes it a part of the foreplay.
Exactly.
To tease. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna back up. And even that's sexy.
Yeah.
So that's a line on the bar. Like, hey, let me do this, let me do that. Oh, you can't even handle that. Let me just step away. Let you think about it. And they're like, well, let me think about it then. And then you know, it's all the tease. So
Exactly.
ooh, I'm writing songs now thinking.
One of the last times that we got OutKast back together was with you and DJ Drama, the art of
yeah.
storytelling. How did that record come about?
Atlanta.
Okay then.
DJ Drama hit me.
Yeah.
I just got back to Philly to do something. I think I was going on tour and I was coming back here and Drama was like, yo, I have this record, I just need this hook. I was like, okay, bet. I have the little setup in my crib,
Yeah.
literally in my little guest bedroom. It was like, okay, sent it, and before I knew it, I heard Big Boy and André 3000.
Come on.
And I was like, oh, that's it. Bucket list, check. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like all the things, like you said, what's your dream collab?
Yeah.
I could not even dream up what I've already done. Like it don't make no sense. Like
Yeah.
none. So yeah, that was an ATL moment.
When you
for
look
sure.
over your career though, Marsha, you thinking about Dr. Dre, we talking about Michael Jackson, we talking about OutKast and everybody else. What was your favorite studio session where you felt like I had the glow and everything that was coming out of you was going to be a classic?
It's a combination. That early Philadelphia when I got there, for sure, it was a back-to-back smash fest. Like
Okay.
you don't do Say Yes and Butterflies in the same week, but we
Yeah.
did. Like
Yeah.
my partnership with André Harris and us creating those songs, magic. Like unparalleled. Like that's one of my musical soulmates.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that can compare to that, I can say Casablanco. I can say Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make no sense for us to. We did some insane, wild things on this album. Like,
My
you
God.
shouldn't have Duke Ellington and Michael Jackson and Wu-Tang and George Benson and Patrice Rushen
God.
and Minnie Riperton and like in one. It shouldn't
man.
happen.
This
And
is
it
the greatest
did.
album of all time.
It's
I'm
Dr.
right.
Dre.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You said it. I didn't say you. No, it's the greatest thing I've been a part of musically,
Yes.
I'd say. Like, it's way bigger than me. That's why I feel it's freeing to go, oh, gosh, like, June 28th, it's actually happening and people get to hear that. It goes with or without me. Like,
what was that transition like going solo from being in a group, coming into the game? Did you feel any pressure to stand on your own and do your own thing?
good question. I did feel pressure because I never wanted that. I think I wanted to be a solo artist when I was like 18, like 19, like fresh out, like, hey, this is what I want to do. I had a whole song called Is This Real? I did an 8-bar rap at the tub, but thought I was serious. You can still Google it, by the way. It's called Is This Real? It's hilarious.
Okay,
but it's still a bop.
Yeah.
But my heart got broken as that late teenager going into my 20s, being an only black girl in the UK that was even on that type wave, and there just wasn't a place for it. It was misunderstood. So I'm looking at who I consider my counterparts, my peers, and I'm like, but look at Lauryn Hill, but look at Missy, but look at, we didn't have a comparison over there. So it was hard to break, and I was like, I'm good. I'm just going to produce, and I'm going to write, and I'm going to get in my own comfort zone. So when I thought of, it wasn't even thinking of Floetry. I had a song called Fantasize, and I knew that Nat was doing poetry, and I was like, yo, I want you to put some poetry to my music. So the producer in me came with that idea, and we recorded the song, and then we performed it, and then the rest is history. Then it became a partnership. It became, okay, now we're doing this thing. So outside of that, solo, nah. I just happen to shine in my own way where people are like, but who's that singing? Oh my God, what's the song that you wrote? What's this feature? And I'm like, I just want to stand on this side of the stage. Like, I don't know what screams pick me, you know, like, oh wait, lights on, see? It got really sexy in here real quick. It's like, wait, it's time to know. It's time to know. See? Look, hey. I said, no.
Don't get me started in here.
And that's just it. Lights out. I didn't want to be a solo artist anymore. Not in that way. I wanted to stand stage left, close my eyes, wear a big poncho, eat cheesesteaks, and just be happy. And I was cool with that.
That's right.
It's the expectations from everyone that sees the attention you get because of what you do. And I was like, Marsh, don't fight your gift. God was just telling me, just don't fight your gift. Whatever the opportunities are that come, they're coming because of your light. Stop trying to not be who you are. And I'm like, I don't want to.
Well, how was the work when you started embracing the light and the opportunity started flooding in?
Well, look at it. Late nights, early mornings. That's where it starts, you know, and it came with the opportunity with Dr. Dre that was like, he wanted to do some work way back then. This is 06 when he first came to a Floetry show at that. You know what I mean? That's where we first meet. And he's like, look, I would love to work with you. Then I do all of those features. I featured on the Games record, like Busta Rhymes, and then the Compton soundtrack, all of the things. So we fast forward to right now when it's, I guess, the pandemic really like did a number on the earth, but it opened your eyes to like what's really real and what's really important. And making good music was the important thing to me. And Dre was in this. It's like we needed that time. So it's like how we meet 20 years ago almost, and only have an album coming out now.
My God.
Timing is everything.
Timing.
And let me ask you, because in the promo clip, now there's two questions I have from the promo clip on your IG. Of course, everyone wants to know, since we're talking about Floetry, could we possibly see anything in the future with you guys?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay.
That's how I ended up meeting my husband. 2015, 2016. We did two. I'm like, oh, this Floetry reunion, we literally did 2 years.
It's 2024. It's
2024. Right, it is.
Marsha said,
But no, we did, and I met Dez the first year of that tour, and then the second year we went out, I got pregnant. I was pregnant while I was on the road. Find out when we was on the road.
Wow.
So 8 months. I mean 8 months, 8 weeks pregnant on the tour. So thank you, God.
Come on now.
You know? So you know, we have Floetic anniversaries to celebrate, and there's many things that happen. So,
do you include Amanda in that? The only reason you know I had to bring it up. You know I had to bring it up.
Was that a thing for? I mean,
Shout out to him. Shout out to her.
are we shouting out? Shout out to him.
Shout out to everybody.
No, everybody gets a shout out. But we're just going to leave it at, that was 17 years ago. And thank you, Atlanta, because it took 3 days to realize that something just wasn't going to work out. And 17 years of healing from that time that's passed for me.
Yeah.
Her and myself only ever had positive interactions until she saw me again. It was like none of that happened. But I can't account for someone else's time nor healing.
Yeah.
So whatever she said happened for her. I have a completely different recollection, but 17 years is 17. I was still talking to Michael Jackson and Prince, like on my Sprint, what was it, the Motorola flip phone at that time? It's a long time. It's a long time.
Worry about no peace. Michael and Prince was calling me.
It's 07 at that time. I was Big Marsh in 07. Like, I'd already done Butterflies, Say Yes Is Out. I'd already gone platinum. Like, I've already won a Grammy with Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake. Like, I'd done a lot at that point. So it was just like, it just didn't work out, and we have to. I've collected many L's in my career, many. Like, we all get told no. Like, you want something, you feel like it's gonna happen, and it's like no, and you're like, well, this is what I saw. You just kind of have to take the L and take a back seat to that. But 17 years later, I mean, what? That was Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows. I still have the hardback from like a Borders or something. It's a lot of time in between.
That's right.
So. Yeah.
So Babyface and who else passed on Say Yes?
I wrote it for Ron Isley.
Yeah.
The initial demo was created just for Ron Isley. So my musical soulmate, André Harris, who also did Say Yes with me, also did Butterflies with me. He just didn't take it. So.
Wow. And you kept
I can't be
pushing
mad.
it.
Yeah. So it just became a part of the Floetry album packaging and demo, and it ended up being one of our singles. So
my God.
Do you watch the trends and everything? Because I just went through and I want to see, everybody was doing to Say Yes. Do you watch those? And I know Far Away has been big too. Like, does it get you like?
It's crazy. Because look, the internet. Like, I didn't have that. When we first started, it wasn't as interactive. It wasn't, I could just at you, or you could see your favorite celeb chiming in or commenting. So it's wild and beautiful to see that something that I did so long ago is still absolutely relevant. It's crazy.
Do you pay attention to the comments? Because I know a lot of artists, they say they try not to look at the comments when they have a new project coming out, just to enjoy it and not get the feedback until, later on. Because sometimes people can say, I hated the album. Then weeks pass when you finally get to absorb it and listen to it. They love it.
It's noise. All of it's noise, but it's also, whether it's negative or positive, it's interaction.
Yeah.
Like, you cared that much to either hate it or love it. The effort to actually put someone else's page and your time, and like, you're giving me data right now.
Exactly.
So negative or positive, like, why are you checking for me? something I'm doing. But that's not just me. That's anyone on the internet. If you think you're not doing anything or you're not doing well, you're doing enough to warrant a response. And I'm not saying everything is right or wrong, or you have to check what it is that you're doing, but it's intentional. So just be mindful of that. But I can't take for serious the internet. And when I say the internet, it's like, I got co-signed by Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and Prince. So I'm like, you're great, Dr. Dre, Marsh, you're this, you're that. And then the internet, you trash. And I'm like, oh. Right. In comparison, like, how can I invest my soul, my energy into that one response from someone who never really, like, experience what I've like, seeing the world through my eyes.
Exactly.
It's still warranting a response. So, God bless you.
Yeah.
How did your vision change after seeing the world through your eyes when you talk about Michael and Prince and everybody and Dr. Dre from the beginning to now?
It's unrealistic. It really is. This is not real. Like, look at where we're sitting at. Like, look at this view. Look at these buildings. Like, I'm thinking about my family overseas right now, and I'm, texting back and forth like, oh, I'm about to go do this interview. Da, da, da. Like, okay, have fun. And they're 9-to-5ers. They're everydays, and I'm just trying to check in and giving them a very unrealistic view of that's what my life is like. Yeah. You know what I mean? God. That's what it looks like. It's a dream.
At what point did you realize that everything had shifted though? When you went from regular, you say Big Marsh to Grammy-winning superstar songwriting machine.
When you get recognized, okay, because I'll forget, and some people have to remind me, like, where are you going in them pajamas? To Walmart, like everybody else. No, you can't do this anymore. Like, can't I? Like, I can and will.
Come on.
Should I? Maybe not. But it's that. It's the. You can see me. It makes it different. Yeah. And I'm Nyla's mother. I'm not thinking Marsha. I'm not thinking Say Yes. I'm not thinking Casablanco, One Night Stand. I'm not thinking none of these things. I'm thinking, I know Nyla got some homework to do. Yeah. And we have to, my mind is somewhere else. So I don't know. I need to work on that. I need to work on trying to be the celeb that people think. I don't know what that means.
Are you able to turn that on and off though? Because like you said, when you get on stage,
this is the stage. Maybe everything else. I have my whole team like, Marsh, you're you. Well, what does this even mean? I don't know what that means. But I have protection on that end, so they make me one humble, just keep me grounded and. Let me be, let me breathe, but I don't know. This is
during your career, though, with those ups and downs, when were the times that you found your faith being tested? Was there ever a time where Marsha wanted to turn her back even after all of those W's?
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me.
It's a struggle. It's life, health issues. It's what's really important. It's I'm fighting to do this thing because I know God has given me a gift, but if I'm not healthy enough to do that, then what's it all worth in the end, you know? So I feel like even with the making of Casablanco, that was a healing process because it was post-pandemic. I don't know how many people in this room actually got COVID.
Everybody did.
Right, you know what I mean? But it hit you different or it hits you crazy. And then the after effects of that are whatever they are. And it was just kind of difficult to navigate watching all of these deaths, watching all of this like apocalyptic end of the earth. Like they're just killing us. Hashtag RIP someone else because someone got shot, someone got strangled, some cop said it was too much going on. And I'm like, you're okay with showing all of these things? I can't post my song to the internet because of copyright reasons, but you can show my cousin getting murdered up the street, straight face, and repost it. Come on. Like, make it make sense. I can't get a publishing royalty from your free internet. Exactly. But, you know, so it's all of these things. That was the mental health of it, is trying to navigate around that part. And how to stay on top of that, for me, has been the music. Yeah. Like, it comes back down to that. Like, I had something to aim for. Because even in my darkest hour, I mean, not to get really, really dark, but even seeing these stories about people taking their own lives. And it's like even family members couldn't get you out of that. And that terrified me. Like, where wasn't the thing that could pull you? It was like, music ain't about to pull me out if I decide it's over. But it did. And that scared me also. Because I was like, not my daughter, not my husband, not my mom, not my brother, not my immediates could pull me out, because they were all triggers. You're just all a reminder of what I couldn't do for you, do for myself. You know, so it's trying to heal, therapy, whatever that is for you. If you're not talking to someone, make it up. Put a picture on the mirror of someone that Viola Davis, I don't know who has to be. Like, I don't know, she has a comforting soul to me. And I'm like, I'm just going to talk to a picture of you. Just pause, How to Get Away with Murder, and be like, listen here, Annalise. I mean, Annalise. And then, you know what I mean? Do something. Like, something has to happen. But it's that music really got me through.
I hear that.
As a producer and an artist and a writer, have you seen a big difference in the money side of it with the streaming versus?
Oh, it's horrible.
When you came out,
Horrible.
big budgets and
It's I mean, you demand what it is that you're worth, but if I'm fighting for what was the record store that was out here? I mean, just overall, we're having we don't have that. You can't just walk up and go buy. Everyone's looking to stream it for free on whatever platform. Let's break it down. Yeah. If you're paying a monthly subscription to listen to everything available, how do you think that diminished my $1
Come
to
on.
the $1 you had to pay if you wanted to listen to my one song? Mm-hmm. That's the difference in the money.
Oh my
Do the
God.
math. Yeah. Think about it. You can listen to everything
for $10,
but you had to give me $1. If my single came out and it was 99 cents, and if I wrote it, I'm getting a significant portion of that 99 cents because I wrote it. I'll have a point, Now,
starting at a 0.00, maybe a 1 might come after them two first zeros. If you got 80% of the song,
and that's if no one sampled it. That's if whatever it costs to actually make it even makes it back. So no one's seeing a dime but the label.
My God.
And the streaming services. It's like, I think they controlled the laws before the laws were even made.
Yeah.
And no artist turned around and was like, wait, hold up. That's not in my contract.
Yeah. It's not in mine.
So if you sign me to a 5-album deal and I have to fulfill that commitment, that's impossible. That's 90. Whereas it might have been 10-year deal.
Yeah.
It's 90 years now.
Damn.
Now I'm 104 trying to recoup.
Your daughter's still going to be...
Listen, my daughter's daughter,
Right.
her album,
cousin's daughter's uncle's cousin's daughter they're in debt.
Oh my God.
You know.
Working with Nipsey Hussle and then having to perform at his funeral as well. How did that impact you?
One of the most heartbreaking things I've ever had to do. Like, I'll never look at that footage again. Like, every time I scroll so quick, I don't even want the lump in my throat and the tear protruding out my eye immediately.
Yeah.
No, it's barely. I can barely talk about that. And I remember getting the call from Karen Sybil, and as soon as I seen her number pop up, I knew what she was going to ask me. And she was like, "No, it's almost like he predetermined in the event of his death, only want Marsha to sing at my funeral. And not only do I want Marsha to sing at my funeral, I want her to sing this particular song." So he's made this song. Who sings Mariah Carey on purpose? Nobody. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm glad it's not one of mine because I literally have to bury that. There's no way I'm singing that song on purpose again, for real. So I was like, okay, fine. If I sang Far Away at that funeral, I'm never singing Far Away again. It will be buried with him.
Yeah.
And when I did what I had to do at that funeral, and I remember there's a moment, I won't even look at the footage because it was so real in the moment. The last time we saw each other, he'd done a show at the Palladium for his title release for Victory Lap, and we performed the song together. And I remember his sister was to the left of me, Lauren was standing right there, the kids were there. And I go on the stage, he was wearing all white, and he just said, come and we're performing.
Yeah.
I'm on stage at the Staples Center, and I look stage right, and it's his coffin.
Oh, hell no.
But in the moment, it's like I saw those lights. It was the same vibe. It was the lights. It was the show. I was like, I was at the Palladium and couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Could not handle it. I was like, I'm done.
Did that change anything in you after that?
Yeah.
And what was it?
None of this nothing is for certain. And the interactions I've had with people that I've worked with, it's always been love.
Yeah.
And it's family, and it's like I said, even in its glory, it's intimate. And Nipsey Hussle with Victory Lap and having that real big is like the last song on the album. It's like, Mama, I knew one day I was gonna do it real big.
And it's my song.
And to pass away, it's almost like he, listening to the album now, that was his, if this all ends tomorrow, this it. This all I got for you. And I knew I'd do it real big. And and said, if I could give you the stars, I would.
Man.
And there he is forever.
Come on
like,
now.
just look at the sky, Nipsey Blue. And I'm like, exactly.
Had to get one.
Right,
You did your
just,
thing on that. You did your thing on that.
I'm glad I've gotten to work with some of the greats. Even Mike's passing, Prince is passing away. Like,
Yeah.
I found out that Prince passed away on the second year of the Floetry reunion tour. And he just played the Fucks in Atlanta, the piano.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 weeks after that, we were here at the Fucks opening with Mint Condition at that same venue. And I was pregnant at the time. And I was a wreck.
Oh my God.
A wreck. So it's just all the memories and knowing that you can press play and go, wow, I was with you when you were here. You know what I mean? Or I was with you when you were that way. So I can look at any situation that I've had in my life, the L's, the wins, and be like, I was here and I was doing it.
Yeah.
Good or bad. It's just all the experience. So I think that's the change for sure.
Between folks like Michael and Prince and Dr. Dre, who gives the best advice creatively and business-wise?
Both.
Okay.
Everyone. Prince was all about ownership. Dre was all about ownership, perfection, and he just goes that extra mile to push this thing in you that you didn't even know you had. Like, oh, that's fire. What else?
Yeah.
You're like, that was my best fit 16 I ever spent. what you mean? And I had to check myself, like, oh, there's something else? With Dr. Dre, there's something else.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
what Casa Blanco is, something else.
Come on now.
You know, so with Mike was at that session 2 hours early before I even got there. And didn't have to be. I've worked with new artists that ain't show up or showed up way late and didn't really put the work in. Mike was still putting that work in. And he was the king already. He didn't have nothing to prove to me. He didn't have to show up.
Yeah.
But showed up in such a way. So just to be able to see him hands-on like that, and hands-on as a father too. He had Paris and Prince running around when they were kids, and I was like, years later, that's me now.
Yeah.
Nyla was running around the studio with Dr. Dre's dog, Primo, like, you know, just wild.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
With her being in the studio, do you see any of your talents in her as well?
Absolutely. That little girl takes everything in like a sponge. She's even censored the album. She knows when I'm gonna curse, where it happens, and her way of doing that. I was like, this is how my baby is just a creative genius already.
Yes.
She censored the album curses with Disney characters. And I didn't realize that was happening until me and my husband in the car, like, we nutting, like, back from a session, like, yo, this one came out crazy. So I was in the back, like, Elsa. Moana. I'm like, what? So we turned it right up, like, we turned it down. I was like, I can't hear the song the same way.
Yeah.
I was like, so that's a way to do it.
Ain't mad at that. I mean, the album though, Casablanco. I mean, what is the song on there that are the most nearest and dearest to your heart, that are personal, that you gave to us fans?
Ooh, number 7.
Ooh,
That's
look
my
at
favorite
number 7.
Yeah.
Number 6, number 7. 6 and 7.
6 and
Okay.
7.
So we're going to have to write that down.
Exactly.
But 1, 2.
But
Don't do this to me. Wait.
three.
Number 3 is One Night Stand.
Okay.
3 is One Night Stand.
Okay.
4, oh,
4 is crazy.
man.
You gonna have to give us a name.
Wait. No. 11.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 11 was going to be at 1.
11.
11.
With some seasoning
With some
on it.
right. 11 have all the moans.
Lem rounds up the whole album.
Okay, then.
Like, it's literally stand there with a bunch of accolades and say, thank you, God.
All right now.
It's that. So, yeah, it's my real big.
I can dig that. I can
Ooh,
dig
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Ladies, do y'all have any more questions? Because I know.
Wait. Well, one thing before I go into the moaning.
Again?
Yeah, because
She's too into it. You want me to multi now?
So I heard in an interview, Prince said that your vocals were like an Arabic scale, the way you do them. Can you explain? Because I don't know. How can you explain it technically? Because it is what you do, but how do you explain it to the regular ear?
I think he just heard certain inflections that I use that are not traditional. So I'm gonna find the minor note to go to a major note and find my way back down again.
And for those that are not aware of what you just said, sing that for us. What does that sound like?
I'm trying to give you an example. So if I start if a regular note is just you hear that?
Yeah.
So I would hear
Oh my
God. So it's there.
Ooh.
It's the choices.
Yeah.
The journey
The
that he
choices.
takes.
So
to
you
the
could just
note.
be like, what's this? Like the AC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give it that. So I'll be like,
See that?
Jesus.
and you still hear
finding
that
a-
one note.
Exactly.
There. That's it. That's the air.
Oh my
That's
God,
what I
you should
can
do like
hear.
meditation.
Yeah,
That sounds like, that was
Everybody
I wanted to close out with the
music.
Yeah.
Well,
Hop on that with Lil Jon.
So,
Yes.
yes. Yeah. That's
and then finding the fifth harmony in anything. How did you learn
Jodeci.
how to? Oh,
Jodeci
Yeah.
is I was on Jodeci when they came out, like 1989. I heard Gotta Love, and I was like, who is this? And then the Forever My Lady album dropped, and oh my God. The nerve, stay, come and
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah.
me. Forever My Lady, I'm still waiting, you and I, the interlude.
Yeah.
Girl, I love you so. It's like, come on, Casey. I was like,
Come
you love
on
me
now.
so. You love me so.
Yeah.
How dare you go so hard to tell me that you love me? And these were young black
Young
men
black
with
men.
Dr. Martens on and they chest out.
Yeah.
It was greatness.
Come on.
raising
I'm listening.
families.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're having my baby.
Well,
And it
when it
means
comes
so
to
much to
R&B, do you feel like you need to take it upon yourself to write everybody's music to keep this thing relevant for everybody?
No, because there's some gems that happen throughout R&B that I feel confident that are still going to make this thing move forward where it needs to. And I feel like there's a place for evolution. Like there's space for the types of R&B.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that 24 years from now, whatever they're doing is going to translate to what I was doing 24 years ago, and we're still talking about butterflies or say yes. What are their say yeses? That's to be determined. The classics will be, but I don't think our current generation are even thinking about tomorrow. Post-pandemic kids are like, no, the world was ending, so I'm getting this all out now. They're not thinking future. They're not even writing from a futuristic pen.
Yeah.
So I think back then we could afford that. Like, we're seeing what our parents listen to. So our generations are like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like that feel-good R&B. But I don't know. We'll see where this thing goes.
When we talk about artists and we talk about being cut from a certain cloth, you speak of Earth, Wind, and Fire, Michael and Prince and yourself. Who is the next generation that you feel are cut from that same cloth as you are?
It's tough. Like, the ones that were around during the same time that are still here, you mentioned me and Jill that are going out on tour next year. I don't know, we're going to put that out there.
Yeah.
Now you got me on this collab, I'm going to hit her. But you know, like, you can see that in Jill. You can see that in Erica. You can see that in, like, Music Soul Child. Like, their music has transcended and we're still singing and playing it now. Like I said, you can't determine who that is today. 24 years for us in this thing, because you've been aware of my music that amount, you can see that in real time.
Right.
What does your 24 years from now look like, though?
Yeah.
And will you care enough about
Well,
what
no,
that is?
I'm not gonna let you slide with that, Marsha, because
Why?
with your music, when your music hits, we knew that it hit and it was here to stay.
Right. So
When you
what do
heard Michael with Butterflies, we knew that was here to stay. When we heard Far Away, we knew that was here to doggone stay.
With you.
But that's
Come on.
like
Just-
hindsight. And because
No,
of how
when we were hearing it, we knew we was gonna be listening to that for a long time.
I'm glad you had a great ear and you can foresee the future. But I'm saying, what do you think? Like, who have
It's
you
some
listened
out
to now? And you
Her?
can say,
Oh yeah,
Her,
I like her.
Jasmine.
but
Jasmine.
her and Jasmine aren't new to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
You know
they're
what I
not.
mean?
They're really
Like,
not new girls.
they're
You're
still-
talking
Exactly.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, when you said new, I'm like,
We got to go find them. I don't know.
Somebody younger than
Time-
her, I
but
don't
Time
know.
will tell, though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
give these kids a chance, and I feel
Okay.
like because everything is so different, you don't know what this next generation looks like at our age now, and us than our parents or our
Yeah.
grandparents' age. Like, it's different. So we'll see. But I'm confident that there are those that are really cutting up, and really trying to make that mark.
Okay, when you heard Kendrick and Drake go at it, what was going through your mind during that whole altercation?
I loved it. I was, oh my God, we couldn't wait. It was like a tennis match. I was like, bring it. Okay, do it. Okay. Oh, what is that? Ace.
my
You know,
God.
like, it's beautiful. Hip hop is gorgeous.
Exactly.
And you need that healthy competition to allow you to rise up or fall down. There's gonna be a winner. There's
Yeah.
gonna be in a battle, but you come back. It's never over.
Come on.
You know? So I feel like even if you were a fan of Kendrick, even if you were a fan of Drake, whoever you felt won, who'd you vote with?
You know, I'm gonna tell you
Kung
this.
Fu Kenny.
We got to go with
I'm
Kid.
a dog.
You're
with
saying
Drake.
Okay. As far as winning, and then you lost.
Have you
when
seen the
say
video
it.
game?
And I'm not saying I'm Drake or Kendrick. I've got songs with both of them.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You know what
Flex.
I'm saying?
Come on now.
Yeah, slight flex. Yeah. You know,
No,
so
she's been
it's
flexing
like
this whole time. You don't know.
She's just been telling her truth. And all her truth comes off as a flex. This so bad.
you
Cause
know,
baby, I'm like, oh.
it's regardless of who won, you want to see that in hip hop. Battle is hip hop. So I don't care how crazy you have to come at my neck.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Nothing is off the table. If it was, why? And if you're gonna take it for serious, and I get it, it can be dangerous and has proven to be so.
That's real.
And that's people. It's never the artist, often than not,
Yeah.
because it's the art. But we need to remember that these are grown men or women rhyming words together. What was it in Friday? Like, we live to fight another day.
That's right.
Like, this is just words.
Come on.
Sticks and stones.
And I'm happy you said that because, you know, everybody wants to be so censored and so sensitive.
I hate
Yeah.
it.
I do too. I hate it so bad.
I'm like, just go crazy.
Yeah.
Comedy, poetry, music, speak it.
Yeah.
Why is everyone so? I mean, you can say some outrageous stuff. All you have to be able to do, anything you say, stand
Stand on
10
it.
toes down
Exactly.
and believe it. Because you know, people just say stuff to say it's clickbait. Like, you only saying that because no, if you're saying something, you're standing on that. I have to respect it.
Yeah.
Somebody else that's known for standing on business is André 3000 and his flute, okay?
Listen.
He said he's done with the rapping for
You see
right
that?
now. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
See
he's
that?
going with the flute. What are your thoughts on that? Would you, how do you feel about the flute album? How do you feel about André pretty much, walking away from hip hop for the time being and saying, you know what, I'm going to concentrate on my flute?
Good for him.
Yeah.
Look at the peace.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take, whether you like it, whether you're into the moment or not,
Yeah.
let him live.
Yeah.
Let that man have his moment.
Come on
you
now.
know, it's just that. Do I love it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, but I'm here as a musician for it. Not, I want Andre to do this because
Yeah.
we're so selfish with what we imagine I don't do another love-making song. You be like, Marsh. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I get that. So I get the responsibility and accountability as an artist to deliver what it is that my audience feel like they expect, but under me the same respect because I've given you that. You know, I've given you all of that, and if that's all it is, that's all I had, and I'm here now. It's like me being a mother now. Like I gave you single drunk Marsh for many years. You are getting sober.
Stop the drunk,
Mama Marsh. But even through that time, I still managed to give you some love records.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right.
So 3,000 in this flute. Let him heal. Let him work.
Come on now.
Let me ask you this, because just taking it back a little bit to when you was hitting those stages, you know, doing your poetry and everything like that, would you go back just to like, I mean, I know the cafe's not open right now. Yeah, it's not open now. But would you go back and just hit the stage one time just to be like, hey,
Like,
I still got this?
Me in front of a microphone or me at a show, it's like, where's the mic and why am I not on it? Like, I don't like going to many concerts unless I'm going to go up there. It's crazy. Like, who's on sound? Like, I'm looking at who's the best. Get him off keys. I'm going to play it. Like, so I'm that. I'm like my trigger finger happy about
How many instruments do you play?
Yeah.
For serious? None. For play, I play some keys, I play some drums, I play the bass, I got 3 chords on the guitar. Like my Rapper's Delight bass line is killing. My little what's my little drum? I have like a little James Brown little thing that I can do. But keys I've been playing my whole life. I'm playing by ear, but working out what I want to hear and creating the songs that you know today. So
where do you feel like your creative power shines the most? Is it the production, the songwriting, or the performance?
Choices. Combination of the both.
Okay.
Because I just like the chicken or the egg. I love coming up with the idea like, oh, that would sound crazy. Then you do it in the studio. Then you release it. Then other people hear it. Then I'm on stage. And then they're responding to what I did in that very split second. And it's done this. Whereas it was just contained, just my thought, my time. You know, so it's all of the things. It's the journey.
And how do you know what songs you're going to give away and which ones you're going to keep for yourself?
You don't.
Okay.
Sometimes it's intentional, like with the Say Yes that he didn't take. I was trying to give that away. Like, yo, I did this for you, fam. Like, it's like, no. They more nicely said, no. Like, no. He said no.
Yeah.
But I have to take that L and be like, I did that for him, though. Like, now where's it going to go? And then it went, though, didn't it?
Exactly.
Maybe
went
where
all the way
it's
up through
supposed to
there.
go.
Yeah.
So I never know where it's actually going to be. Even when I tried to write this song for Beyonce, but I didn't know she was on like Lemonade Time. Like I was just in a different headspace. I was like, y'all don't want to smash and make up? No, that's just me. That's my outlook. Never bad, and that's the L I have to take. But does the song live somewhere else?
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Like each and every time, it's like timing, right place, right time.
And with like piggybacking off of him saying the flute, André doing the flute, and you saying that, you know, fans are selfish and they want a certain type of artist from you or songs from you. What is something, because I know Beyonce, she did the country album. We had Drake doing the disco. Like, what is something that fans would not expect from you that you kind of want to go off into?
That they wouldn't expect? I don't know. I feel like I'm an open book. So I'm going to do everything from a TV theme show, like movie score. Even with Casablanco, we do too much on there. There's a whole TV show. There's a jazz ensemble. There's Wu-Tang. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Like, so whatever you think you'd expect, I don't know. It's just the moment. Am I going to pick up a flute? We'll never know. But I might. It mean, like the tambourine joints. Tambourine album. There's an art to it. The triangles are art to it.
The album full of triangles.
I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but Casablanco, if that's it.
Exactly. We here for that.
Yes.
Ladies.
That's it.
Kadife, the greatest record man of all time in history, is saying that it's time to wrap it up. What up, though, Kadife? With that being said, thank you so much for your time, Marsha.
Thank you
so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to watching this, all of the content flying off of this, all of the singles, One Night Stand going crazy right now as we speak.
And lots of sex, safely.
Moaner over here. Just moaning.
Can you do like one little mantra for the women? Because you're so confident and like you own your sexy. Can you just speak to the women one time on how to walk in their confidence and intimacy?
Okay. For women, you know when you feel like you're not on your A game, when you're not it. I need you to really center yourself, close your eyes, breathe, and feel what it is that you want to feel, even through the pain, through the tears, through any struggles you may be going through, and find that light at the end of that tunnel and start to feel like her again, whoever that is. And you have to be honest with yourself. Honesty is key. If you're not doing that, it's not going to happen. When you close those eyes, if a tear has to drop, let it fall. That's you letting it go. That's you rejoicing in that. It doesn't necessarily have to be pain. It's just reflection. Let it all go. Be you, be light, and be love. And you will be that. Now to men, you can do exactly the same thing in your own way. It's taking yourself to be centered. It's understanding that not everything has to be confrontational. Sometimes you internalize too much and you don't say enough. And when you do say, it comes out in anger. It comes out in other ways. Same thing for women. Center yourself. Take your time for you. If that's removing yourself from the toxic friends or the yes people in your life that are allowing you your own bad habits and enabling that, get out. Love you. And it will be love.
Well, that was the greatest monologue of all time ever on this show. Thank you so much. Marsha, we love you.